Relationships matter. Always live on the free Odyssey app. It's Dom time. Now, Dom Giordano.
It is Dom time, and, our attention is still on stuff playing out here locally around what's going on in Israel. But the number one thing that's starting to crop up immediately are the hostages. It appears Israel's ultimatum is no water, no power to Hamas in Gaza until the hostages are released. So it's going to be interesting to see that dynamic. And will they release any at all? I'll go through that and what Biden has done versus Trump on this. Trump warned the Iranians they wouldn't get off scot-free, if you remember. That was the red line of President Obama, and he enforced it. When they did go over the line, he took out Soleimani. Every time they go over the line, take out their leadership. That's exactly what should happen. Would the Biden administration do that? No. All right, so my eyes are on that. Also, I'm looking at an interview with the Russian news organization, Russia Today, Sunday interview with one of the senior Hamas officials. And he says Biden's Iran deal is the rationale for taking hostages. Notice this time around, even in their bloodlust to just do the most vile things, they couldn't get off enough on this. They were taking hostages too, though. Why was that? Because they want to get it released, a lot more of these savages that are in jail. Will Biden do stuff like that again? Remember with Brittany Griner, the WNBA center, they released this arms dealer known through the world as one of the most vicious purveyors of weapons to all kinds of things in Africa and things of that nature. So what will Biden do? The clock is ticking. But I wanted to update you on this ongoing story that is amazing. My alma mater, LaSalle, if you've been listening this week, thanks to a listener, that's where a lot of these come from. We then developed the story. And Alan Dershowitz, I'll play you in a moment, yesterday was on the show. And he said, no, it's not a matter of cancel culture. He wants Harvard to release the names of the signatories of all these 31 or 32, whatever they were, clubs at Harvard. Put their name on it. Let the world see it. Step up. You want to support these Nazis? Let's see your name. Well, over at LaSalle, they print it roughly the same. I'm not sure if it's word by word. I'm not getting into the weeds of what Harvard put up, the Muslim Student Association. A listener sent it to me. What caught my attention, and Dan has been diligent in trying to reach as many of these people as possible. We're almost as over as the Atlanta Braves are at this moment. Maybe like 0 for 32 or 3, considering you've done it multiple days. I guess the president's too busy coming up with neutrality statements on Hamas, right? Presidente of LaSalle. They have a communications department over there. In fact, that's one of their majors. Communicate. Just tell us where we're wrong. So, Dan, I noticed that this morning, the Muslim Student Association of LaSalle University, I'm going to read you word by word what they put out in the latest development. Now, this is the group that put up the statement that talked about essentially Israel being responsible. That's why they were struck, because of their 75 years of oppression and occupation. You know, the same thing the Harvard people put up. The signatories were the powerlifting club, but the student ambassadors, the ambassadors of LaSalle, boy, that sounds like they're connected with LaSalle. The Student Government Association, the Residents Association, and there were a bunch of others, all signatories. So what we called for is LaSalle ought to have a public airing of all this stuff. Plus, they ought to issue their own statement rather than the tepid statement they issued 2 or 3 days ago, saying they were disturbed by the images there. You're disturbed by the images, not by the savagery of Hamas. So the Muslim Student Association says this: due to very unfortunate circumstances, we, the MSA, are required to re-upload this statement with the removal of previously signed organizations in order to protect the signed organizations from backlash. However, our statement still stands. We will not be afraid to speak out against injustice today, tomorrow, or ever. We don't believe there is a neutral statement, despite what our institution says. So is that LaSalle, Dan, telling them to come up with a neutral statement? Or are they saying that LaSalle's statement is neutral? Which I think it is. How can LaSalle be neutral on this? They say, we do not condone violence whatsoever. Of course you do. Come on, buddy. Of course you do. You reek of it. You can't get enough of it. We condone peace and freedom, or we'll kill you. This is not a race or religious issue. This is a human rights issue. Now, buddy, it's a human rights issue, but it's a religion issue. You hate the Jews. You want to kill the Jews. Come on the show. We'll let you say kill the Jews. How do you like that? That's what you want to say. All right.
As somebody that didn't go to LaSalle, you guys have a terrible fight song.
Yeah, it's not good.
No,
We've
that's
had some
that's
great basketball
really
players over the years, but
yeah, you have. But
all right, work on the fight song too.
It's like
Now, Alan Dershowitz, I asked him yesterday. I'm going to play what Dershowitz said. This will be cut 4, Dan, I think was the best one. We don't want to be the cancel culture. What do we do with these signatories, these groups? College campuses today, they're going wild again. What do we do with them in regard to making them see the light of day? And if they won't, what's the penalty? Several businesses, I'm looking now at dozens of CEOs that said they want to see the names. They don't want to hire any of these people. All right, so here is Dershowitz yesterday addressing that, the Harvard students. And I'll tell you what someone did, which I wouldn't do. These are kids, although the Harvard punks do bother me. So, Dan, I'll tell you that, then I'll play Dershowitz. Do we make allowance even for a senior at Harvard or at LaSalle? They're only 22. I mean, you're closer in age. A truck drove around Harvard yesterday digitally, displaying the names and photos of students who were involved with the letter that blamed Israel for Hamas's attacks. Do we go that far to out them with a digital rolling billboard around the streets of Harvard? What do you say?
I don't know, man. And like there's a part of me that's like, I like that the comeuppance is there.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I don't like the implications that brings.
Right. And there's a little bit to this too, but they got to do it on their own. Like that LaSalle parent who wrote me the letter yesterday. Some of them are claiming, well, I'm a member of that club, but I didn't sign off on this. Well, A, get out of the club. B, renounce it and tell us that. Otherwise, we have to lump you with them. So I don't know. Getting a truck to go around, Dan driving, and I have a bullhorn outside the window. LaSalle, repent. Here are the students that we hold responsible. The powerlifting club. Put down that weight, you dummies, and read. I'm still amazed at the powerlifting club of LaSalle.
Yeah, why are they making political statements over there?
Yeah, why are the powerlifters
in between their 250-pound squats?
I'll give you something that was involved, Dan. Could it be there was some female who said, "Oh, come on, guys," and they were trying to curry favor? Could it be that? That's the usual thought I have in this.
Is it that, or is it just one rogue member?
Could be a rogue member.
And it's just like, yeah, I'm going to sign on to that without even talking to anybody else.
Yeah, exactly. So, but how do we explain the ambassadors of LaSalle? They're supposed to be ambassadors. Hi, would your student like to go? Would your kid like to go to LaSalle? Let me tell you what we offer.
What?
Wall to wall, we support Hamas. Okay? Now, here's the worst of all the colleges. Today's the day of resistance, Dan, and I'll tell you, this has been bothering me for a while. The worst is Tufts, Tufts University in Boston. They saluted Hamas for their creativity. You know what that's about? These yo-yos on college campuses and the supporters in this country, they're getting off because Hamas used those gliders, the paragliders and all. They love it. Take that. You think you can stop us? Can you imagine? They saluted them for their creativity in murder. And the more that it comes out every day, the more ghastly the circumstances of exactly what they did. I have an interview here, but it's not in English, of this terrorist they caught. And they're asking him, the interrogators, well, why did you rape the women? Why do you do that? And the guy finally admits, we want to make them unclean. Just think of the mentality, the savagery of this. There's no dealing with them. There's no negotiation. There's no two states. There's no nothing. And the bottom line is, it's clear that significant numbers of people support them. I'm talking about in Gaza and around the Middle East. Now, how significant? Who knows? How could you conduct a poll in Gaza? So what should you do if you're Israel? Well, you got to do a better job of protecting yourself. But right now, you have to reestablish that Hamas is not going to survive in Gaza. And that means killing every single one of them that you can find. And it means staying on top of the ball. And if some of them start to resurface, killing them too. That's what it means. That's the position of Israel. That's the diplomacy. Thank God, the only silver lining of this, there's not going to be any of this two-state nonsense. All that would mean is it would give them a bigger platform to plot and kill Jews. That's what they want to do. And by the way, these people on college campuses are un-American on top of everything else, including over at LaSalle. And they're cowards who have done this and still can't face the consequences. So, Dan, I can't tell by this cryptic stuff from the Muslim Student Association. They're required to re-upload this statement. I guess that's by the university. If you use the word required, you're not saying we decided to do it to take heat off these others. They're saying they're required to do it. I think the university told them, you know what? Yeah, these people will sign off for Hamas, but we don't want the world to know about that now because people are on it. People are asking questions. Talk radio's talking about it. Yeah, that's right. In other words, the game is up for now until the next nonsense they do. So 855-839-1210. I'm still kind of surprised at LaSalle, not at the usual suspects that are out there. So now let's go undercover. Let's not ask these students, do they want to repent from these statements? Were they done in haste? And they're thinking clearer now. Whoa, this is what we're endorsing? All right, side question. Yesterday, Dan, down at the ballpark, I had a great night. Dr. Bentz. Dan, there were at least 5 dentists there. Doc, can you take a look at this?
Yeah, if you chip a tooth, you know where to go.
Oh, yeah. And 3 or 4 dental hygienists, and then people that work to keep the machine running in dental offices, and Luke and I.
So do you have when you're sitting there at a game with all those dentists and then they bring out the Shake Shack shakes, are you saying to yourself, there's no way I'm eating one of those?
Oh, why is that?
Well, you don't want to, give them impression that you're not caring for your teeth.
Oh, no. Dr. Bentz has chocolate chip cookies in his office. I'll make a mistake.
You know what? Actually, they'll probably think, dig into those sweets. It's more work for me.
But,
it's more money for me.
No, he's just not, making you crazy. I noticed the tray, Dan, but I didn't want to be in. But Luke and I got there a little late because of how long it took him, an hour and 45 minutes from Lansdale. Traffic murders.
Wow. Yeah.
So anyhow, I see the cookies, but I don't want to go for them right away. I got a Primo's half a hoagie.
Okay. So back up real quick. They bring out food throughout the game, right?
Yes.
So when that food comes out, you can't be the first one up there.
Right. Exactly. Yeah, that would be rude.
Yeah.
Yes. And I see the cookies and I go, oh man, but I'm thinking I have to go. There were maybe 22 people in the suite, something like that. There seemed to be about 24 cookies. Here's the problem. 8 chocolate chip.
Oh, no.
8 spice wafers.
Oh, no, don't go there.
And 8 of the stinking oatmeal raisins.
Oh.
By the time I got there, there were maybe 4 spice wafers and 8 oatmeal raisins. Don't these people, people like oatmeal raisins. Stop it already. It's like saying you'd rather go to a 7-Eleven than a Wawa.
I honestly have not met somebody that prioritizes oatmeal raisin cookies over any other cookie.
And the spice wafer, Bro goes, well, a lot of people like, stop it. That's because chocolate chips are not there. So I did not get one chocolate chip.
It's October. They're thinking maybe it's like seasonal.
Yeah. They had them left over from last year, just with the oatmeal. Hey, go get those oatmeal raisins. We can get another year out of
seasonal cookies, are you fans of those really hard ginger snaps?
No.
Oh, they're teeth,
bad for your
my
teeth.
My parents loved them growing up.
No, you can't
around
use
this time,
that.
it's the only cookies we'd have in
I'm
the
very sent. No teeth stuff. So, side question, though. The Phillies last night, just unbelievable. Not just the 6 home runs. Seeing Harper, Luke and I knew it was coming, Dan, after the second home run, round second, and I thought he was going to stop and stare at the shortstop who's made these unfortunate remarks about him. But my God, it was just incredible. He really is a star of the first magnitude in big moments.
Can I ask Anthony the question, or ask you the question I asked Anthony yesterday? Yeah. If the Phillies win this year's World Series, do you think he's the greatest Philly of all time?
No, I still don't think he's as good as Mike Schmidt.
Oh.
I mean, you got to understand, he's the greatest third baseman of all time. He's got to do a little bit more than that. Yeah, I don't think
defensively, you're right.
Yeah, the defense putting in, and the guy hit 548 home runs back when there was no nutrition, exercise, or whatever. It's just a phenom, and he didn't start till he was 25. Dan, hitting home runs.
Harper, high fly ball, center field. He's watching. Harris turns. Harris leaps, and it's gone.
The first one was the one that got me going more than anything. So here's the side question. This team is made for Philly. I could argue the Phillies right now are starting to chip into the Eagles a little bit. It's impossible. There's no team on earth that Philadelphia will identify because of football. But they are a brand. They're the face of Philadelphia. There's a chemistry. There's a resilience. There's a grittiness there that almost makes them like a football team. So here's today's question. It's an easy one. Our area, who, what person or thing or trend or saying kind of identify. Yeah, let's take that one off the board right there. Rocky. Rocky can't be allowed anywhere else. It's only one bad Rocky, the one with Tommy gun. And there's a great scene in there where Rocky beats Tommy a gun up and knocks him out next to the back of a SEPTA bus or the front of a SEPTA bus. It's not a good Rocky, but
so are we only doing brands and companies? Or are we doing people too?
People. Oh, I said people. Yes. Okay. Yeah. So who do you? I say the Philadelphia fan. Some in the sports world see the Philadelphia fan as ignorant, just craze. There's some of that, but the most passionate. If you can make it here, you can make it anywhere. I would say are Philadelphia fans. I don't think there's any fan base. Maybe soccer fans, Dan.
So you're just taking sports fandom as that answer that answers the question?
Yeah, the Philadelphia sports fan, yes.
Okay.
How about yours?
I'll go with I'm going to take Bill Cosby off the board
because
for decades it was.
Oh, you can't say that anymore, Dan. We're going to put you on the list.
Yeah, but I mean, still, Cosby Show. You watch it now. It's still very, his Temple sweatshirts.
Yes.
It's very Philly-centric.
Yeah, he's still the most famous 3 or 4 people out of Philadelphia, without a doubt.
And even though it didn't take place in Philadelphia, there are Philadelphia ties to it. I'm going to take Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, the TV show, off the board.
I'm going to take Rizzo off. I know somebody's, Rizzo right away. I know. No, you're not going to win with Rizzo. We'll take Rizzo off. And Frank Rizzo's got to be dead 1,000,000 years now. And it's still, we were talking about the Rizzo statue the other day.
Yeah, so essentially what this is if they were doing a montage before the baseball game of what defines Philadelphia, what's something that has to definitely be in that montage? I mean, they won't show him, but Frank Rizzo, you're right. He should be in that montage. He has so much of the fabric of Philadelphia.
I mean, so much, Dan, that when they won the World Series in 1980, was it 80? Yeah, it was 80, against Kansas City Royals. Rizzo wasn't mayor then. Green was. But because they had dogs on the side and horses, so they couldn't wreck the field after Game 6, Rizzo got the blame for it. He's not mayor. Rizzo said, I would have put bigger horses and more dogs out there probably, but no, he wasn't mayor. Hey, by the way, when these guys leave a mess with their horses, these were cops last night just sitting on it. Does somebody have to clean that up? It's amazing. It's just like, nope, we're not doing it. All right, 855-839-12. You got another one?
I'm just typing up. It's going to be a very long one because I want to be very specific on Twitter. What's something related to Philadelphia they never show on montages that should definitely be on a Philadelphia montage?
Yes, that means we don't want to hear the cheesesteak as an answer.
Yeah, exactly.
We get it already with the cheesesteak.
And Rocky, we know Rocky. Right, yeah.
And Rizzo, right. So 855-839-12. I love how you positioned that. And also the issue now moves to the hostages. But today's college campus is a day of resistance. And you heard what I said about LaSalle. How do you view LaSalle in the middle of all this? Kind of surprising. Harvard we get. And a truck with a digital. I'm not putting the kid's photo up. I don't think we want to. I would give them one more chance to at least renounce it. If not, then a lot of people are not going to hire them. 855-839-1210.
Professor John Yoo, a constitutional scholar, when we're looking at national law enforcement, and you see so many of the same names. I mean, John Brennan, a CIA director, is briefing President Obama about the Hillary Clinton campaign's idea to use Russia collusion. He shows up on the Hunter Biden laptop letter. He shows up on MSNBC. It's like a revolving door.
I hope that people now, if they see these people appear, they know to turn off the TV or change the channel. Or better yet, turn on the Rich Zeoli show. Right? Like,
Rich Zeoli, weekday afternoons, 3 to 7. Talk Radio 1210, WPHT, and on the free Odyssey app.
You're invited to witness a groundbreaking documentary, America's Retirement Dilemma, a documentary of Wall Street's rigged system, featuring powerful exclusive interviews such as the president and CEO of the leading analytics firm over Wall Street, Delbar Incorporated, Lou Harvey, who explains why Wall Street is not set up to have a fiduciary duty to the everyday investor.
Wall Street is not set up to handle a fiduciary relationship. Too expensive to replace all of my compensation systems, retrain all of my people. The whole structure that's been built over the last 100 years would have to be turned on end. I would have to be brutally negative. We have an industry that has been built on caveat emptor, buyer beware.
Hear this and more exclusive interviews with powerful industry leaders, esteemed economists, and top researchers at the Springfield Country Club, October 24th. Registration is required. Call Crash Proof Retirement, 800-722-9728.
On your drive home, you can make the one decision that can change your day. You can choose taste. You can choose quality. You can choose Captain Chucky's Crab Cake Company. Made fresh daily. We love crabcakes.com.
Hey, it's Rhea Hughes. Fall is upon us, and now is the perfect time to head over to Lexus of Cherry Hill for the L-Certified Fall Collection Sales Event. They have over 300 new and L-Certified pre-owned Lexus to choose from. October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. For every car sold during October, a donation will be made to Virtua's breast cancer patient and early detection programs. Stop in and see my friend Tony Labello and his team, or visit online at lexusofcherryhill.com. Lexus of Cherry Hill, family-owned and operated.
40 days to lose 20 to 40 plus pounds. Just say it with me. 40 days to lose 20 to 40 plus pounds. You will lose a contractually guaranteed 20 to 40 plus pounds in only 40 days with NJ Diet. They use your hair, saliva, and blood work along with scans to personalize natural solutions and supplements that get you and your body into the fat burning zone so you can finally lose that weight. Then NJ Diet uses DNA info to help you keep it off. Best of all, it's contractually guaranteed. You are fully supervised the entire time to make sure you are burning fat and not just losing water. And you even get the doctor's personal email and phone number. They're with you every step of the way. Absolutely no shots, no hormones, no surgery. Locations close by in King of Prussia, Newark, Delaware, and Cherry Hill. 855-5NJ Diet. Or from home with live online video consultations. NJDiet.com. 40 days to lose 20 to 40 plus pounds guaranteed. NJDiet.com.
This is Talk Radio 1210 WPHT. Free speech lives here.
Tom Giordano show. So CNN just a few minutes ago had one of their people tearfully show the photos that Benjamin Netanyahu has tweeted out. One, it's almost hard to believe. Her name is Seidner. Says it's a very small baby killed by Hamas and burned to death. and burned to death. So, again, these college students, I'd probably make an exception for Harvard to go after them even more, those punks. They need guidance from their administrators, and the administrators over at LaSalle apparently telling the Muslim Student Association, go on the down low. Yeah, you can still upload your hate without anybody challenging it. I think they ought to be able to do it. They're showing themselves. But we don't want you putting out the LaSallians who have signed off on this. We don't want the world to know about that because there's backlash. Woo! The little snowflakes have backlash. You're darn right they have backlash. What the hell are they thinking? At least the Muslim Student Association may be part of this wide network of these groups. What the heck are the LaSalle ambassadors signing off for? What's their problem? What do they think that institution is supposed to be about? Stop telling us it's about compassion and Christian charity and everything else. Then somehow or another, it's not working. So there are pictures now burning them alive. CNN says one the size of an infant, very small. Who would do that? Of course they would do that. That's what they're about. And when Israel goes into Gaza, which is only a matter after the softening of this up, it's not going to be pretty. They're being condemned now for turning off the power and water supply. They're saying, okay, you want to have them back on? Give us the hostages. Now, do I care if they're without power and water for days or whatever? No. As long as they keep the hostages, that's going to be a problem. But the big issue is, what do we do with Iran? And if you notice, Joe Biden in his speech the other day didn't even bring up Iran once. That's the heart of this problem. You see all kinds of people talking about freezing those assets again. I don't know if that's doable or not now. It's kind of hard to tell. But that's where we are. Iran is the issue. Israel's got to clean up Gaza first. But after that, I hope they do strike their nuclear areas. And then we'll see what we do. Let's go to Carl in Delaware County. Hey, Carl, afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, gentlemen. I guess I wanted to talk about the LaSalle situation, maybe from a little bit of different angle, not being an alumnus or anything, but is anyone at LaSalle or at some of these other ostensibly Catholic/Christian colleges at this point in time, are they required to take would a Muslim student be required to take Christian theology of any kind there, or is it just like a free-for-all now?
Yeah, I'm not sure at this part. When I was there was a theology requirement. We'd have to see what they require, given the status of things. I can't. I don't want to.
That was, if they had to do that, that would be a reason for them to be very hostile to the institution as a whole. And that's what I'm wondering, if there's even that kind of requirement at any of these colleges anymore.
No, I don't think. But, the Muslim Student Association, as I said, this is par for the course. It's the people.
I know, and
it's the people
really
that Carl. It's the people that signed off in agreement with that, backing that. Just like at Harvard, they're the problem.
Yeah, I suppose. It's just trying to get my head around how you could have within the no influence. You go to an institution that your beliefs are directly opposed to, if those beliefs are presented in any.
Well, I don't think. Thank you, Carl. You know what, Carl? Sounds like a nice guy, Dan. But you know what? I'm not here about the feelings of analyzing any of this stuff. How many times have I said that? It's the South Philly way. I don't care what you think your beef is. I don't care what you think Israel has done, or you hate Jews, you hate this or that or whatever. You're not going to kill babies and get away with it. You're not going to burn up babies. You're not going to rape women on the top of the bodies of other dead women and get away with it. And that's what colleges ought to be saying. Ben Sasse, pretty famous senator, I thought he was going to run for president, Republican Party out there in, what state was he? Was he Montana? Maybe not. No, Nebraska. He's now the president of the University of Florida. Here's what SAS wrote. Compare this to Penn, LaSalle, Harvard, Swarthmore, any number of these, some of whom do not release statements. SAS wrote, now president, University of Florida, I will not tiptoe around this simple fact. What Hamas did is evil. There is no defense for terrorism. This shouldn't be hard. Sadly, too many people in elite academia have been so weakened by their moral confusion that when they see videos of raped women, hear of a beheaded baby, or learn of a grandmother murdered in her home, the first reaction of some is to, quote, provide context, end quote, and to try to blame the raped women, beheaded baby, or the murdered grandmother. Yeah, that's one of the phrases that LaSalle used. Sometimes LaSalle and places like that don't say context, they say the complexity of this. Well, guess what? This isn't complex to me, not in the slightest what we're dealing with here. How in the world would you find a way to cooperate, negotiate with people that would engage with what we've seen? And the people who stay out of it from afar, but are even worse, probably, Iran. All you can do is protect yourself, hope to get into their head. If they act against you, the price is too high. That's the only thing you can do in these situations. Why is it so hard to face? Is that cynical? Well, I say it in only the worst of circumstances. In the Northern Ireland question, things seem to have been resolved in a better way. But we had a listener who called in, knowledge of that, and compared that to what we face here. And there's a huge difference. I'll play you Alan Dershowitz yesterday, and he talked about, imagine being at Harvard, whether you're a Jewish student or not. You know where my allegiance lies in these matters. And I'm sitting across from a guy or woman who I know is a signatory to what Hamas has done. And you have to play nice in this situation. Just imagine that kind of context of what it's like to deal with it. I'll play you what Dershowitz said about Harvard yesterday and your calls. You get in at 855-839-1210. Hey, Dr. Bentz last night, just talking with him again. Well, 6 home runs help. You know, people go wild. And his wife, who's also a dentist. Oh, my goodness. It was crazy. I am such a fan that I found Dr. Bentz as a patient. And then for listeners, how many listeners have had great success going to Dr. Bentz over the last, I don't know, it's got to be close to 10 years or so. He's my good friend, board-certified prosthodontist extraordinaire. And there were other dentists there, and a lot of dentists send their patients to Dr. Bentz because of the edge he has. It's him, and it's also his technology. And Dr. Bentz, right now, one of his latest investments is the Trios 5 scanner. This is amazing. This Trios 5 scanner has an incredible design, reduces the potential for patients gagging or experiencing discomfort during the impression-taking process. You know what that's like. You're off to a bad start. You're already, oh, my God, is it over yet? No, that's not what you're going to get with Dr. Bentz. And then you move on from there with speed and comfort and convenience for you because he has those 3D printers that get great results. It's all there. It's a well-oiled machine. Give them a call at 610-272-6949. Get that initial look-see now. Visit them at bentzdentalgroup.com. BENTZ dentalgroup.com.
See Joe Conklin's comedy show at the Sellersville Theater in Sellersville with Paul Wyants and Brendan Donegan. Saturday, November 18th. For tickets, go to joeconklin.com. joeconklin.com.
Excuse me, sir. You dropped your wallet.
Sorry, what?
I said you dropped your wallet.
Come again?
I said you dropped your wallet.
What?
Loss of hearing can really cost you, unless you have hearing aids.
You dropped your wallet. Oh, Thank you.
Bluebell Hearing Aid Center, where better hearing and better living begins. Providing hearing solutions that are more powerful, precise, and user-friendly than ever before. Schedule an appointment today at BluebellHearingAidCenter.com. BluebellHearingAidCenter.com.
With food prices going up, it's hard to decide on what to buy and where to buy. If you're looking for a way to stretch your food dollars, look no further than your neighborhood grocery outlet. We have the name brands you love for 40 to 70% less than regular grocery stores. Our stores are locally owned and operated by people in your community, so we understand the challenges you are facing. Stop by your local grocery outlet today for deals you won't believe.
Grocery Outlet Bargain Market.
This is Larry Steinhaus of Investor Schooling. I am so proud to announce the continuing success of our students at Investor Schooling. You already know that at Investor Schooling, we teach real estate investing and stock options. Did you also know that we teach things about tax savings, estate planning, and business coaching as well? We teach things about money I bet you never knew. At Investor Schooling, we teach from the perspective of true experience. If you want to see what our students think about Investor Schooling, please check out the over 160 5-star Google reviews. To find out more about how you can change your financial life, go to investorschooling.com or call 866-424-2829. That's 866-424-2829, and you can attend a complimentary class this Thursday at 7 p.m. Attend that class and see for yourself what Investor Schooling is all about. Go to investorschooling.com or call 866-424-2829. That's 866-424-2829. We can't wait to see you this Thursday.
Jalen Hurst here with Harley from Window Nation. Jalen, don't you love the home field advantage? Absolutely. Do you? I love that in the home improvement field, Window Nation gives you a big advantage. Like what? Custom-made, energy-efficient windows with tons of options, expertly installed and backed by the best customer service team anywhere. So that means lower energy bills, higher home value, and peace of mind? And savings, Jalen. So buy 2 windows and get 2 free, plus no interest for 2 whole years. Get the Window Nation advantage for your home. Call 866-90-NATION or visit windownation.com.
Hey, you know life throws you curveballs, stress, anxiety, and unhappiness. I'm Dave Raymond, keynote speaker, and yes, the original Philly fanatic. And I want to talk to you. I've been sharing my message around the world. It's a message about how fun and happiness can make the world a better place and can save your life. Contact me now at daveraymondspeaks.com. I'd love to speak for your team at your next company outing, conference, or meeting. See you soon at daveraymondspeaks.com.
Talk Radio 1210 WPHT, broadcasting from the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter.
Dom Giordano Show. Welcome in. Boy, you think, Dan, some people have one program director. I think got people in your ear back there on the home front that are program directors.
Yeah.
I have to consider that recommendation from a
very
diminutive,
pristine sort of.
Yeah, as program director. Okay. Side question. Strider is an example. I'll take that one off the board, Dan. Down the hall in WIP. People tonight, they just are yearning for this. They have it circled on their calendar. When Strider takes the mound for the Braves tonight, that he said, now I saw it. He was trying to be humorous of a sort. It was a hot take. He'd rather pitch not in front of any fans. Oh, man.
Oh, it's awesome. Yeah.
I'll
get that for you here in a second.
If we win tonight, I think appropriate, Dan, we got to do something with the mustache. It does look like a porno mustache.
Yeah.
I don't know. How in the world did male porn stars ever associate the mustache with their trade?
Well, I think it comes from, I have a theory here.
Yes.
That there was a very famous picture of a shirtless, I think maybe naked, Burt Reynolds in a pose.
Okay.
With the mustache and the hairy chest that was turning into posters. And I think that became a trend.
Yeah, he was naked. Yeah, Playgirl.
You want Strider?
Yeah.
Do you have any hot sports takes?
Any hot sports takes? Absolutely, there should be no fans. 2020 season, no fans. Get rid of the fans. It's too loud.
Too loud?
It's too loud. Everybody be quiet. We don't need the cheering. We know you're watching. I don't need the fans. You stay outside the stadium. Back it up. Let's do like a no lower bowl thing.
No lower
okay. Just kind of, upper deck's great. Upper deck's great. Outfield's phenomenal.
I'm sure, Dan,
I'll eat you around the dugouts.
when you get down there today, they'll already be lining up. Now, I don't know if they'll wear a mustache is what they'll do. And I told Luke, this guy's pretty good, though. And Phillies last time, we're fortunate. I mean, he throws a ball over a 6'5" guy at first base on a pickoff. That was one run. Harper did hit a home run, but they didn't really dust this guy up. Here's what's going to happen, though. He'll go along pretty well, 4 or 5 innings. Then all of a sudden, there'll be a couple runners on, and the place, the noise, I don't care who you are. That's why Steve Carlin used to wear earplugs whenever he pitched anywhere. I don't know why other players might. Maybe it's disorienting. And the ghost of Bert Hooton is out there. That's the guy the Phillies booed off the mound one time. It was Bert Hooton.
Hooton?
Hooton. Yes. Hooton.
Hooton.
Strider and Hooton. Yes. Bert Hooton. What a great baseball name. Bert Hooton.
Bert Hooton.
They should bring him to the stand and put him right behind home plate and tell people who it is, announce him before the game.
So were you among the crowd members who were mocking the Braves with the chop chant?
No, I wouldn't indulge in the. I hate that, and just in so many different. There's such bad fans do that.
But the Braves fans, you could see on the TV broadcast, they were feeling it, man. They felt embarrassed for their performance.
Yeah. There were very few Braves fans there, and the other thing is they started to chant Strider. They must have started doing it from the 6th inning on last night. So it will be that's something that is very Philadelphia. That's the side question today. Can you go to L.A.? They're not going to boo Strider off the mound. There's no way. They may try it, but they can't. They can't muster what we have here. All right.
When they were chanting "We want Strider" on the television broadcast, they showed Strider just in the dugout, and he looked pale. It looked like in a horror movie when the main character sees the monster for the first time.
It's a mashed potato face with a mustache. That's what he had.
Yes.
I think he's a great pitcher. So it's going to take 4 or 5 innings of this. All right. Now, here's the breaking news. According to one report, and this shows you pressure is building on Biden, that one of the undersecretaries of the Treasury has spoken to a group saying they're telling Qatar to freeze that $6 billion. Wow. With Iran. Now, what does that tell us? It tells us that they're sensing that the American people are incensed around what's happened here. And the hostage part of it, there's another part of it. And Dan has been trying to reach this woman, who several of you have recommended. Sometimes it's easier said than done. She is this is Cut 9, Dan. She is a Blaze social media coordinator, Ashton DeGroat. Her husband was working in Israel for a short period of time and has been cut off there. So the question is this Afghanistan all over again? Because Israel is a war zone. They're being attacked from the north. There are still elements in the country. Should we move heaven and earth to get Americans that want to come home out of there? I would say yes. And there are reports that they'll help the State Department get you out of there, but you have to sign a promissory note that you're going to pay them thousands of dollars. What? Let's think about forgiving student loan debt, but we're not going to get you out of a war zone. All right, here's Ms. DeGroat talking about her husband, Joe Biden, and the fact that Fiji, Hungary, and others, they've gotten their people out of there. Should we not do the same thing?
But for me personally, and I, if I could be so bold to speak for every other American citizen who's in this particular situation, this is an eye-opening experience. To realize that no one is coming for you. They're not even talking about it. You have to rely on the kindness of private companies and strangers to do everything that they can to make a way for you to get out. And that's if you know about that company and you get to fill out their paperwork and they contact you and they have a seat on a plane for you. I've talked a lot about my husband and my brother and my desire to get them out. But my heart is not just for them to come home. It is for every single It's for every single American citizen to come home. My husband met a couple from Florida who's retired, and they go to Israel every year to evangelize. And they're there He talked to a woman who told her children that she'd be home, and she said she feels like a terrible mother because she feels like she lied to them because she's not home. They're real people with real families.
All right, so this is where the ball is headed now. By the way, Florida Republican Representative Corey Mills rescued people in Afghanistan, and he has rescued 32 Americans in Israel, meaning getting them out of Israel. So isn't this something the American president should be deeply involved in? It is a war zone. Now, do I think it's going to go where Israel is overrun or something? No, but it is a war zone. This is a dicey situation there. It would be better to be out of there. Phone lines are 855-839-1210. Give us something that is very Philadelphia. You were putting a montage together before tonight's game. You would include this person, this image, this thing, this trend, this saying, whatever it might be, that represents the Philadelphia area. Getting good ones on Twitter, Dan. You seem like you're indicating.
Oh, I'm laughing because there's a lot of talk about the porno stash on Twitter.
Oh, okay,
and the alternate names that those have been given that I don't think are appropriate for air.
Okay.
But go to Dom Show 1210 if you want to check those out.
Yeah, there you go. It's the seamier side of Dom.
Yeah. The Wanamaker's Eagle from Marcus Aurelius.
Yes.
People saying Wooder from Leslie Fisher-Pine. Who can claim that if she wants to call
I
him
don't say that. Come on now. The Philadelphia accent, it doesn't exist.
And finally, Harry Lopez, I think, might have a winner, but he has to call it in if he wants to claim it. A traffic cone saving a parking spot in any given neighborhood.
Which allows me, and I've been on the high side of the Philadelphia police, Dan. You didn't see this, and with all the Israel stuff, I didn't get to it yesterday. There's a contest among police districts, and I think it was the 24th that I saw written somewhere, that brought in 1,000 orange traffic cones, took them off the street. Now, if the police are saying we're taking these off because people are using them to block parking spaces like now, okay, I'm on the police side. If this is an attempt to say we're not going to let you save parking spaces during the snowstorm, then you know what? Go and solve some murders, buddy. That's what you ought to be doing. Go and prevent some murders. And guess what, Dan? Those people in South Philly, you're not going to stop them because you took their orange cone.
Yeah, I was going to say.
They're going to. One guy put an anchor out there. They keep an old toilet. This one couple, they put an old toilet up there. They carted it off to save their spot. You going to take the toilets in and the anchors?
The anchor.
It looks bad for the police to engage in taking this in. You know, is it this widespread of a problem? And if you're against Savies, you're un-American. So you're a communist. 855-839, there's that. 855-839-1210, you get on board. All right, let's talk about Mr. Visionary. I've been telling you over the years about batteries plus bulbs, sent so many listeners there because Roy and his trusted advisors at two big stores, one in Mount Laurel on Route 73, the other on Tilton Road in Northfield, they just know how to get things fixed and done, how to make people comfortable and give you great customer service. But Roy had this vision 17 years ago. He started the first batteries plus bulb store that was in Mount Laurel in our entire area. He saw the demand was starting to increase. And look at it now for people that are going to need phone repairs, game console repairs, custom battery packs. If you're in business, how do we get the best with technology without paying constantly for all kinds of new stuff? Well, this is the place to go. They also carry extensive inventory of batteries and lighting products to solve just about any problem. You reach them at 856-638-0778. That's batteries plus bulbs in Mount Laurel and in Northfield, 856-638-0778.
The fall is the best time to be at the Jersey Shore. Leaves are changing, crowds are gone, the weather is still warm, and Rich Zioli is heading back to the Grand Hotel in Cape May. Be there Friday, October 13th, 3 till 7.
It's Friday the 13th. What could possibly go wrong? Don't miss it. It's my happy place, and I'll be happier if you're there. So join the Zioli Show live at the Grand Friday, October 13th. See you there.
Whether you're on your way to Cape May or already there, come by for all the fun. The Grand Hotel is at 1045 Beach Ave. This Friday, 3 till 7 on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT. and the Odyssey app.
Attention taxpayers. If you or your business owe the IRS back taxes or have years of unfiled tax returns, the IRS has green-lighted billions of dollars in tax relief to those facing financial hardship through its tax relief initiatives. If you have a delinquent tax problem and possibly facing wage garnishment, liens, levies, audits, or already in a payment plan, you may now qualify for significant relief. Qualifying and enrolling in this program could stop all collections, settle your tax problem, and may even reduce what you owe by up to 99%. Call the hotline at Tax Help USA to see if you qualify and receive your free tax assessment by dialing 800-210-1005. If you or your business owe back taxes to the IRS or state, you can now get the help that you need during these hard economic times. Get your free tax assessment to see what you qualify for by dialing 800-210-1005. 800-210-1005. That's 800-210-1005.
Stop the sleigh bells. It's way too early to think about the holidays. Or is it? Because if you start right now at the Fall into Savings sale at Colonial Marble and Granite, you could be unwrapping a gift to yourself with beautiful new granite kitchen countertops for just $1,999 fully installed. And come the holidays, that will be something to celebrate. Colonial Marble and Granite, the cornerstone of a beautiful home. Sale ends October 23rd. Visit colonialmarble.net for more details.
The future of joint pain relief is right here in the Philadelphia region. QC Kinetics, advanced regenerative medicine. Hey, Dawn Stensland here. If you've been told that more steroids or surgery are your only options, not so fast. Get a second opinion. Learn more about how you can harness your body's own healing agents to attack that joint pain. QC Kinetics does not mask the pain. These treatments go to the very core of the problem, using concentrated healing properties placed directly into your joint, which repairs and restores that damaged tissue. Imagine living life, especially this fall, with no more pain in your knees, your aching shoulder, your back, your hips. No drugs, no surgery, no downtime. Just call the local medical professionals, get a free consultation. QC Kinetics, the nation's leader in regenerative medicine. 215-999-3000. Just call QC Kinetics, 215-999-3000. Tell them Dawn sent you.
Hey, Riverton. We know your favorite station is Talk Radio 1210 WPHT. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
Dom Giordano's show. Let me play you. Here's Alan Dershowitz, no stronger defender of the First Amendment that you're going to find anywhere. And I was curious what he would say about these colleges, particularly Harvard, and what to do with the kids that are signing off on this, these groups that are signing off on these attacks. Here's what Dershowitz told me, cut 4. Are you surprised at Harvard, and what do you think should be the pushback there?
I'm not surprised at Harvard. I've been at Harvard for 60 years, and I've seen this phenomenon growing. The woke culture, the progressive culture has taken over. Harvard, particularly in the humanities, has become a propaganda tool. Students aren't studying the humanities anymore. The good students are all taking science and math and technology. But teachers are propagandizing. Administrators are cowardly. The president of Harvard, the new president of Harvard, has refused to take a strong statement on this. She refuses to condemn the students. Imagine if there was a club formed at Harvard called the Ku Klux Klan Club, and it advocated the lynching of African Americans. You could just imagine how strongly Harvard would react. Well, this is what's going on here. These organizations that have supported these Hamas actions are supporting lynching. Israelis, Jews have been lynched, mutilated, beheaded, raped, taken hostage. And what we're hearing is, well, you know, our students are upset. We have psychological services available to them, but I cannot get them. And I provoked them into trying to do it. I cannot get the president of Harvard to say, I condemn the students who wrote petitions supporting this barbarity. I cannot get her to do that. She's a new president. She's an African-American woman. She's obviously under pressure from various constituents, but you know, being a college president requires some courage. Harvard, Yale, Columbia,
New York City College. They're all fallen prey to these neo-Nazis, and they are taking over the school.
All right. He went on to say, too, that yes, force them to sign their names to it. You want to do this? Put your name next to it. And maybe a company is going to say, I don't want a Nazi sympathizer. That's what this is. They are not supporting the Palestinian people and all the rest of it. They're supporting their actions of Hamas here. Let's stop it already with the quibbling. They're supporting what was done and justifying it by saying, look at what Israel has done and is doing. And they're going to continue to say that. All right, side question. Something that's would be in a montage tonight that represents Philadelphia, the Philadelphia area. Let's go to Catherine in Philadelphia. Hey, Catherine, what do you have today?
I say the soft pretzel.
Well, that's right. Yeah, the soft pretzel, particularly guys showing it with unwashed hands up there on the boulevard, Dan. Doesn't get any more Philadelphia than that. Yeah, that's more than the cheesesteak, the soft pretzel.
Can I take one off the board?
Yes.
I took it off on Twitter, but I have not taken it off on the show yet, but I will now. The roast pork sandwich.
I don't know.
That's the Philadelphia sandwich more than the cheesesteak at this point. John's and DeNick's.
God.
It's so good, man, with the broccoli rabe and the sharp
All right, I'll let you put, the sharp provolone is something to talk about. Oh, I'll take it off the board. Saying gravy, not sauce.
Yeah.
There you go. That would have been a winner with me. Could have gotten that one in. You got to act on these now in this next hour.
Sauce.
And the Phillies team is so representative of exactly that Philadelphia flavor to it, with added talent in the case of Harper. 855-839-1210. How many innings does Strider go tonight?
There's also in America a big fight against saying gravy or sauce.
What do you say, Giuseppe?
It's sauce.
That's it. That guy didn't take me on a tour.
Genuine Italian right there.
I traded him out for two other Italian people there when we got there for conservative tours.
Did you pre-screen him by asking them
yes.
if they thought it was gravy?
Yes, and that was it. Never showed up on the tour. How many innings does Strider last tonight? I say 5 1/3.
Really? That far?
Yeah.
Yeah?
He's tough. He's a good
How many Ks?
7.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but then, see, it's even better, Dan. All of a sudden, the collective thing. You know what they'll be doing if it doesn't appear to be working on him? You think Philadelphia's going to give up and say, it's not working on this guy? No.
No, it's going to get worse.
It'll get worse by far. All right, 855-839-1210.
You know what they were doing in Minnesota with the Twins? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to
they were doing the pitching clock.
The pitch clock countdown. Did they do that last night at all?
No, I was waiting for it. I would do it on Noah, but you know what? It's a different Noah at the right time. He looked really good last night.
Oh, I'm saying do it on the Braves players. Get it ahead.
Right. Yeah, on Strider. But
Yeah,
I think he pitches pretty quickly. But somebody who doesn't, anything's possible tonight.
I'm looking here. I don't have it yet, but after the break, I'll have some bets for you maybe that you might want to make.
All right. Hey, join me, though, this Saturday. It's going to be a great event, October 14th at the Faith and Liberty Discovery Center at 5th and Market Streets in Old City, just across from the Liberty Bell. It's the first official Faith and Liberty Day, and the museum is celebrating William Penn's birthday. In addition to me, you can meet Billy Penn, see the unveiling of the museum's American Values art exhibit, and get this, enjoy free ice cream sundaes. Here's the best part. There's free admission all day at the museum. This Saturday, Faith and Liberty Discovery Center, October 14th. Now, I'll be there around 11 o'clock till shortly after noon. 5th and Market Streets in Old City, right across from the Liberty Bell. Bring the kids, free admission. It'll be a great day.
Hypertrophic cardiomyopathy is a serious heart condition. Some symptoms include being short of breath, feeling tired, or having dizziness or chest pain. My HCM impacted how I felt and what I could do. So I asked my cardiologist about treatment advances that gave me new options. That conversation was big for me. Talk to your cardiologist today. You may be glad you did.
John was compensated for his time. Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb.
In the Pennsylvania Army National Guard, get a head start on a career in exciting fields, including science, communications, engineering, and medicine, all while earning money for your education. This training will boost your eligibility for a high-paying and rewarding profession, and you can get it all while serving part-time in your community. To learn more about the Pennsylvania Army National Guard, visit nationalguard.com/PA and talk to a recruiter today. Paid for by the Pennsylvania Army National Guard.
For all of you who love to cook Italian, here's a mouth-watering message from Cento.
Bake lasagna, manicotti, clam sauce with linguine, chicken parmigiana, and tuna capellini, gnocchi alla rosa sauce, pomodoro frittata, pappardelle, perciatelli, pasta caponata.
How do you give those dishes authentic old world flavor? Authentic Italian cooking begins with Cento. Cento for taste that sings. Cento. Trust your family with our family.
Your new kitchen appliances look stunning. Thanks. We had a blast shopping for them at National Appliance Warehouse. There's over 100 brands in their huge showroom. The best part was knowing everything was at the best price. You must have done a ton of research. Oh, we didn't need to. They use a cutting-edge technology called Price Assure. It searches prices online and updates electronic Price Assure tags in real time to make sure theirs is the lowest. Lower than the big box stores. Especially them, with much better service, too. And they do it all. Delivery, installation, everything. National Appliance Warehouse in Wilmington. Yes, they may not be the closest, but they'll make your wallet the happiest.
Enjoy huge savings on new kitchen appliances during the Columbus Day Mega Sale underway at National Appliance Warehouse. Save up to 34% on select GE appliances. National Appliance Warehouse has an unmatched collection of GE, Cafe, GE Profile, and Monogram appliances. Innovative and inspiring, you'll love GE appliances. Preview the savings at nationalappliancewarehouse.com or visit their easily accessible showroom on 202 in tax-free Wilmington.
Philadelphia's Talk Radio 1210 WPHT, WPHT HD, WOGL HD3, Philadelphia. From the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter. Always live on the free Odyssey app. It's Dom time. Now, Dom Giordano.
Dom Giordano Show. Welcome in, everyone. 855-839-1210. You get a line, AT&T and Verizon Wireless. All you have to do is just push pound 1210. So the breaking story, still to be confirmed here, apparently it looks like the Biden administration is going to freeze the Iranian funding, the $6 billion. You know, and we're going to start to hear the arguments. Well, maybe they won't give you the hostages the next time around. Or what about the hostages that are there this time? You know, this is indicative that the pressure is working here. We are seeing the ability to, at least, even if it's pretense, move the Biden administration. Now, here's going to be the big issue for the Biden administration, where the crunch is going to come, because I think this is going to go on for a while. And by that, I mean not just Gaza, but the aftermath of Gaza. And will Israel try to take out the Iranian nuclear program? And that is energy. Biden has drained the strategic oil reserves. Biden has stunted our energy policy, which was one of the great achievements of Trump. You're seeing the